Hi everybody, it's Saturday morning. My husband has gone out for the day, so day one of my journey begins with the Lutterloh system. So in case you missed the video I put out the other day, my mum bought this system back in the 70s. She used it a little bit in the beginning. I think she made me a coat and she made a couple of other things, and then kind of put it away and has felt guilty for years that she never really used it. She gave it to me a few years ago. I promised and promised I was going to make something from it, put it off, but now I'm doing this YouTube channel, then it's the perfect time for you to nag me to come along on my journey with it, because at first glance it looks a little tricky. I have watched lots of videos about how to do it, so I think I've got it sussed. Maybe. Well, we'll see. Come along on this journey that might be a very bumpy journey with me. So this Lutterloh system, based on this golden rule thing, all about using your hip measurements and your bust measurements, and that should determine the proper size and fit of a garment with this special measuring tape, all based on this. Now, I did watch an original video about it when they're talking about measurements. I know, I think we all know a few of these, but it's like the measurement from your wrist to your elbow is the same length as your foot. I think your head is 8 times the measurement of your body. But the one I found hilarious, which I didn't know, is if you put your thumb on the second joint of your first finger, that is the length of your nose. I think it's brilliant. I keep doing that. It's incredible. So now I know how long my nose is. I don't know how that relates to making clothes, but we'll see. When I looked through this the other day, it had some instructions, but what I found absolutely fascinating. Now, obviously, some of these patterns say they are suitable for knit garments, but I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they had knit garments back then. So what they have here is actually a way of forming knitting patterns to meet all size requirements. And what I think they're suggesting is you cut out the pattern pieces and then you knit to the shape of the pattern piece. Now, I find that incredible. Did people really do that? I mean, obviously, people knitted clothes. Yeah, I've knitted garments before, but actually using to make a knitted dress or a knitted skirt by using these pattern pieces, I just find that amazing. Gosh, thank goodness for lycra and jersey and all those things we have now. If we just want a stretchy garment, we just buy the fabric and then we just make it up. So I have chosen, I can't decide, I've got 2 patterns. I decided, even though I bought a supplement from spring last year as like a back catalogue, I thought, no, I'm going to try one of these original ones first. So I've got a choice of 2 and I've taken them out because they're very timeless. Now this, I'm going to start simple first of all. This is a simple top here. The line drawings, you kind of have to look on the back. So front, back and a sleeve. Now that's, yep, done tops like that before. So the construction of it, because you don't get instructions, I think you do on the later ones, but certainly can't track the instructions for that. That I should be able to do that. Oh, there's this other one. Now I quite like the look of this one. It's this top here. It's a simple top. It's a front and a back, but gathered here into shoulder pieces. So that is the line drawing of it. So you've just got a front, a back, and just the 2 shoulder bits. Now I actually thought that was quite, I do like a top that sort of comes here. It works quite well on me. So I didn't know, for a bit of fun, whether to have a go at that one. So I can't decide between the 2. I'll probably end up making them both if it works. I might go for that one. But of course, the one thing it doesn't do is give you fabric suggestions. So I'll have a look in my stash, see. So I've got, what I've done is, the idea is you put a pin through the actual drawing here and use this. Well, I don't want to spoil these pieces, so I've actually photocopied them. That's the wonder of modern technology. My mum didn't have that. So I photocopied them so I don't actually destroy those pieces. So I've done that. So I've chosen the pattern. I've got my reading glasses ready so to read the measuring tape. I've got my magnifying glass. I've got my sticky tape, which you'll see is needed. I've got my French rule. I've got 2 rulers, and I'm spoilt for choice because I've either got the one my daughter used to use in school, which is so glittery you can't even see the numbers, or I've got another one which is shatter resistant, but it's snapped. So I think I need perhaps a new ruler for Christmas. I've got some paper. I've got a lot more. This is the Burda pattern paper. Got some more somewhere. I've got to dig that out. And of course I have the kit to actually make it. They do include this French curve here, but I think I'll use mine because obviously this is quite old, 40 years old. And this is the famous measuring tape. So I've got 2 things to do first. I've got to measure my bust and my hips. And then hopefully it'll all become clear what I have to do there. So that's it. That's part 1. Join me in a minute for when I start trying to measure it all out. Right, so what I'm going to do now is what they say. I hope the camera is a helpful angle for you. Is stick down. I think I put the whole of all the line drawings on here, and I'm hoping guessed the right amount of paper that I need. But I'm going to stick that down there. And I'm going to get the measuring tape with the 88 pin through it. Now I'm lucky, I actually use a table saver, so I can stick pins into it, which is lovely when I'm cutting out. I don't have to worry about my table, but it's like a felted back rubber table saver. I suppose I should do A first. So you put that pin through the very centre of that cross, and then hopefully that should rotate. Okay, so I'm going to, holding my pin, because I just want to make sure it pops out halfway through, I move to one of these first lines. Can you see this line here? And it says 13. So I line the measuring tape up with that, and I go along to where my 13 centimetres is, and I put a dot. Then I move on to the next line, keeping it lined up along these. So you've got a line and 15. So I'm going to put another dot. Then I've got a very small bit there, a 17. So I put another dot there. And then 23. So far so good. And then 30 and a half. This is where I hope that I've got the paper right. 30 and a half. And I keep doing that round the whole diagram. $20, and last one, 20.5. 20.5. Right, I think that's it. I don't know if you can see it, but I have got my dots marked out. And that's the bit that, if you're an expert with using French rules, then it's probably easy for you. So we got to join up the dots. Now this one here looks like it's going to be a straight line. For some reason it looks a different angle to they've got. Let's not worry about that for now. So I'm going to join up those two, and then this looks like it's on a slight bit of a curve. So I suppose I just sort of, I think I saw somewhere that you meant to line up 3 dots, but okay, line up 3 dots, someone. So maybe I should line up those 3. That's going to make it scoop in quite a bit. Oh well, let's see what they say. That does look a bit scooped. And Ooh, I need my shorter ruler for that, but I'll join up there to there. It's like dot to dot, but the other way around. So I'm going to try and line up the 3 dots for the sleeve. Hey, this isn't easy. I can't do 3. Oh, I can. Yeah, that works there. You see, if you're an expert at doing this, this should be easy for you. Okay, this is looking good. And this here looks like it's on a slight curve as well. This is an easy bit. Well, it would be an easy bit if I had a longer ruler. Interesting. Oh, I know. I'll get my side rule. And I'm back, and I've got my long straight rule. It just looks on a weird angle to me. So this is the finished drawing, but what's confusing me is it's sort of askew to the actual pattern bit that I traced. Now, I'm not going to let that concern me for now, but the shape does look kind of right for piece number 1, even the wonky bit I did there. So I'm going to go on to do the back now. Actually, I nearly did it, even though everybody reminded me before I do the back, I'm going to add the seam allowance. I'm going to do 1.5 centimetres or 5/8 of an inch. So all the way around, because these patterns don't include seam allowance. So I'm going to add all the way around my 1.5 seam allowance. Okay, so now I have got my first pattern piece drawn out with my seam allowance. It's a bit dodgy in places, but as this isn't a very fitted top, then it's not going to matter too much. I keep saying okay at the beginning of every video. I really apologise for that. What I haven't done and what I need to do now is put the markings on. Now, there aren't many on here, but that's obviously a fold line. That dotted line there means a fold line. I think that means centre front VM, whereas that one means centre back. So, oh, and I suppose I should put the wiggly line up here to denote the gathering. Not sure about the straighter grain. That line there means straighter grain, or maybe transfer that across. That means straighter grain. Not confused. You see, this is where you're coming along the journey with me. But luckily there aren't many markings. That has got a C there and an A there, so I'm going to write those on as well, because I think that means you match up A with B and C with, this is getting confusing now, but that's fine. I'll go ahead and do that. Then I'll do the other pattern pieces the same way. All was going well, and I've cut the front and the back out, but I have come across an issue that I don't understand, and it's this piece here. There's no cross on that little piece. And what does this cross mean? If I put that cross in to make that one, it just doesn't work out. It makes it a huge piece. So I might have to do a bit of research. It's okay, I panicked too early. Yes, you do indeed use that cross there, because I thought I'd have a go, try and use this cross here, and it has come out the same shape up here. So that's fine. Okay. Whew. It's definitely time for a cup of tea now. So that was my diagram, and I have my 3 pieces cut out. I actually ran out of the paper. I couldn't find the new stuff. So, and one of the patterns I bought, Simplicity, there was a whole sheet of blank tissue paper in there. So I kept it, so I managed to grab that. So I got my 3 pieces. Thanks for coming along with me this Saturday. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you didn't find it too boring or frustrating, where you could see me going wrong and not knowing what I was doing. Next step will be going through my stash, finding a nice pattern. It's going to be gathered here, so it's got to be something that is going to work. Nothing too stiff. Thanks ever so much, and have a good rest of the day.